A very good afternoon from Kontraktova Square here in Kyiv. It is the Saturday before Independence Day and I am walking around in a pedestrian zone here. There is a Ferris wheel right over there behind me. And the terraces, KFC here in the middle of the street. It all looks really casual, right? But the thing is, right in between there there's a big banner that says Free Azovstal. And you can also hear a generator running, the orange one there. And it's parked in front of a building that is completely covered in sandbags. The reality of war here is never far away. It is the day before Independence Day and the day after I made my trip to the deoccupied areas northwest of Kyiv. If you're interested in that, there are links to the 4 videos I made about that trip in the description below. If you're looking for something less war crimes packed, you might also want to watch my previous video on Kyiv, of course. When I entered the country, I was asked what I was going to do in Ukraine. I answered that I was a tourist, which I am. Even though Ukraine is fighting for its very existence, the country is open for tourists like me. That's why I'm here. I still really want to help Ukraine win this war, even though I'm not military trained enough to fight or have an unlimited amount of money to pour into the defense of the country. This entire street is pedestrianized, as you can see. It looks wonderful and cozy with bars everywhere, bars and cafes. Today is National Flag Day, so you'll see even more blue and yellow flags here. In between all the buildings you see here, there are quite a number of buildings that have been covered up in big boards like that one. Some of them were damaged or destroyed during the initial stages of the invasion or later on during Russian air attacks. My destination is somewhere there. The funicular is somewhere there. Potato fries. And we were here earlier. The very first day I walked around this square. The building behind me, I'm not sure what it is, I'll put it in the description. It is used though. Now features a Ukrainian flag as well. But just that the doors are sandbags and concrete barriers. That's the same volunteers earlier. But, they are not buying from me. Sadly enough, the Wall of Heroes, here on the outer walls of the St. Michael's Monastery, is full. It was started in 2015 as a shrine to the fallen shortly after Russia sent its little green man into Ukraine. The right bank of the Dnipro River is on the western side of the river, as it flows to the south here. It is located in Prishursk and Podil, albeit a little section only, districts. We'll be walking towards the south from here. This glass bridge, damaged during a Russian missile attack on October 10, 2022, connects the Podil and Prishursk districts for pedestrians and cyclists, and offers splendid views over large parts of Kyiv on the opposite side of the Dnipro River. If we walk a little further, we will find the Russia-Ukraine Friendship Arch, as it was originally built in 1982. It has since been renamed to the Arch of the Freedom of the Ukrainian People, with a fake crack that was added to the arch in 2018, as the arch itself is an official monument and can't be removed. Look, Kyiv has beaches. River beach, but nevertheless still a beach. National Flag Day is almost over. Tomorrow is Ukraine's Independence Day, which is obviously not celebrated as it should be. But with artists playing on street corners, rush hour traffic on Krashatik Street and a moment of quiet, it wasn't a bad day today. It is Ukraine's Independence Day, which is unfortunately not celebrated as it should be, and not at all in about 1/5 of this entire country. Today we're going to do some more exploring of the city of Kyiv, because there is a lot to see and a lot I want to show you actually, so let's get this going. Of course, this very busy road leading into Kyiv, center of Kyiv is the National Circus of Ukraine, among buildings that are far less pretty like this, a lot of concrete. The city of Kyiv, being a capital city and an old city, has, of course, unfortunately seen several wars previous to the one we are in right now. So building styles are mixed, to say the least. And if you compare that to cities like Berlin, Rotterdam, or even my hometown of Eindhoven, you'll see that that perfectly makes sense, unfortunately, because every war brings destruction. I'm on my way to a building that was heavily damaged in the first few months of the war. A building that we probably all remember from the images we saw on television. It's the headquarters of Samsung. That's the main train station. I love it how people build out their balconies here. Some are made of wood, some are aluminum, some are something else. Just to get that extra square meter of 5. That one in the middle looks like a bird cage though. All of these apartment blocks, whether they're newer or older, will have ground floor shops, cafes. How convenient is that? There's a lot of sun right behind me. Just listen how quiet it is here. Given it's a Sunday morning, it starts at 10. It's really peaceful. And knock on wood, there hasn't been any air raid alert for the last 24 hours or so, which is apparently pretty rare. No guarantee, so unfortunately, with the Russians being your neighbor. The city of Kyiv is quite hilly, no big mountains, but if you're walking somewhere, you'll notice that there are a lot of inclines that go on for hundreds of meters. Look, that's where we just came from. Next to me are the walls of the botanical garden of Kyiv. It's also the location where the metro station is located. The city of Kyiv is actually really spread out and nicely built with a lot of green in between. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of little parks, green squares, whatever you can find. There's trees and grass, and of course the botanical garden. In most of the places that are open to the public, you will find little cafes, places where you can play music, where people socialize and dance, even during war.
To be clear, this is not the National Botanical Garden, which is located to the southeast from here. These gardens belong to the Taras Shevchenko National University, but it's green and peaceful here. The Universitet metro station also has an entrance here, so it's also convenient for many.
He's in a hurry. And just like that, you're back in the city. The building I was walking through, but of course I took a wrong turn like 20 times, is right in front of us now. You can see it's still not repaired. Kyiv airport, straight ahead. Of course there's no way to get in or out Ukraine by plane at the moment. So people will have to travel by bus, train, minibus, whatever they can find. It is the 22nd of October of 2022 when Kyiv was hit by one of the heaviest missile attacks to date, for at least that date, not after that. It's a reminder of how random these attacks are. They've cleaned up the building, of course, because of all the shards of glass, but it hasn't been reconstructed yet. In the direct area here, you can see that all windows are made of PVC here, with stickers on them even. It's because they all had to be replaced. Not only this building, but also buildings on the main road there, and this one like that one. If you look closely, you'll see that they all have new windows. The windows in this building were blown out and haven't been replaced. The building itself looks not in use anymore. They only put some plastic on top of it to cover it. It's very well possible that the Russians were aiming for the train station. It's a few hundred meters away because, well, Why would you aim at something and actually hit it? Well, random attacks are also scaring people. This is a small train station, but the building you see there with the Ukrainian flag on top, that's the main station of Kyiv. So you can see main train station, Samsung building. That's only a few hundred meters away, not even half a kilometer. On April 8, 2022, just weeks after the full-scale invasion of Ukraine by Russia started, the main train station of Kramatorsk was targeted by Russian missiles, killing dozens of civilians that were waiting for trains to evacuate themselves to safer areas. The train station was a deliberate target, and the missiles used carried cluster ammunitions to inflict maximum damage and death. Russia denied it attacked the passenger station, of course, but we all know that when Russia speaks, it lies. Look, it says Kyiv. Damaged windows are closed with plywood. It is 11 o'clock Kyiv time on Independence Day, the 24th of August. It has been very quiet over the last 36 hours. The scary part is that our evil neighbor to the east is very well known for starting attacks during Ukrainian holidays. And now it looks like every road here is uphill in Kyiv. I have to make it to the top. Like I said, the incline isn't that bad. It's the length that makes it pretty heavy. To make walking uphill and downhill more easy, you'll find these scooters everywhere. I'll get one. He went very fast downhill. We have made it to Shevchenko Park. It is a stone's throw away from the Maidan, which is that way. And we are in the middle of the city, and you'll notice right away how peaceful it is, how quiet. And of course this park comes with its coffee booth, local market, and people trying to enjoy their life for a bit. Aroma Kava is a chain of outlets that mainly sells coffee, drinks and snacks. I just had my coffee. Let's have a look at the Independence Day market here. Oh, I can't bring too much stuff with me though. This is obviously not a tourist market, but a local market. It's not that different than a weekend market in the Netherlands though, selling food items and clothing that seems to be made locally or at least on a smaller scale than ordered from China in bulk. And yes, I saw that Bandera flag in the background on the left there. I didn't edit that out indeed. My understanding is that its original meaning has faded over the decades, and it's much more a symbol of Ukrainian nationalism in general. I only brought a very small suitcase, which is going to be a problem if I'm going to bring stuff in. Statues here are covered to prevent them from being damaged. They are cultural heritage, of course. While the statue isn't visible, it is visible in a way. They drew the outlines of it. It was last night, just before curfew hit, that I walked through this park to get to my hotel, and I noticed that there is a yurt. Earlier on in the evening though, there was a concert going on here. The city is absolutely filled to the brim with cafes and parks.